Hello you guys, it's so great to see you again. Thanks so much for coming back. Welcome to the second video of Food is Medicine, so let's get cooking. My name is Hannah Marweedy. I'm a fourth year medical student, kind of ending my fourth year of medical school, so I'm super excited. By the time this video launches, it will be post-match day, pre-graduation, so I'm super excited to be here. Food is my passion, nutrition is my passion, preventative medicine, I'm just so passionate about all these things and how we can use food to make delicious, nutritious meals to support yourself and your health overall. So super excited to be here. I'm in my humble little one-bedroom apartment kitchen. A big passion of mine too is just to show that you don't have to have anything fancy, you can be imperfect. I'm certainly imperfect and will be just kind of going through this with you. It's very unedited, very casual, so just feel free to prop this up. And today we are making a beautiful garlic hummus. It's made with garlic, olive oil, kalamata olives, chickpeas of course, tahini, and it's just a really beautiful way to make hummus from home, so you know the ingredients in it, no preservatives, no inflammatory oils, and it's really hard to find hummus without inflammatory oil. So that's what kind of got me onto this. This is also a wonderful way to kind of incorporate more of a Mediterranean diet into your overall diet. We know that Mediterranean diets are so good for overall health. There's just continues to be more studies behind that. It's probably the most well-researched diet that has been shown to be really good for longevity and overall health. So this is going to be a great recipe to add to your overall diet. It's really fun to make, super easy. All the recipes I make are super easy. I aim to be really affordable with kind of the ingredients I use as a medical student on the budget. So that's kind of where we're at today. As I plan to always start kind of all my recipes off, I'm going to just make some tea. I love to kind of have a nourishing kind of drink to kind of, just enjoy throughout cooking. And so I'm going to make some tea today. I'm actually using loose leaf this time. My mom sent this over. It's literally, tea is my love language. It's apple cider rooibos tea. Super delicious, so nourishing. So feel free to make some tea with me if you want. I use this, it's kind of like a tea canister for the loose leaf. So many teas, if you're using if they use like a plastic bag, so I'm basically just pouring this right into the canister. If you use plastic bagged tea, one, it's a lot of waste, but two, it doesn't taste as great. My husband's kind of a tea snob and he really notices a difference with loose leaf tea. Better for the environment, also better for you. A lot of the plastic ones, you can actually get microplastics in your tea. So we've been using basically this canister for a while. You basically just put this into the mug and it's awesome. So I'm gonna do that here. Got our lovely little mug. So we're gonna pour our hot water in. I think tea is just obviously so good for you. Rooibos is a really good low caffeine, might even have no caffeine honestly, and really good antioxidant tea. And you kind of just plop it in like that. It's delicious, and then you put this on top. I've had a few friends who've gotten this exact tea canister and have gotten on the loose leaf train. I think it's so wonderful, so I'll try and link this somehow in the description. But we're gonna have this brewing here, give it a little bit of time. Just put this back here for now. Okay, so a big goal of this lesson, experience, I'm not sure, kind of cooking in the kitchen with me, as I promised last time, I'm going to kind of go over the benefits of garlic and also how to activate garlic so you're achieving the full benefits. Garlic has the potential to be so nutritious and powerful and good for you. So we're gonna go over that. First, I'm gonna grab a knife. Got it. And so what we're going to do before we start making this hummus is we're actually going to cut up, I have 2 cloves of garlic. We're going to cut up these cloves of garlic and basically set them aside for about 10 minutes. give me 1 second. I'm gonna move the camera down so you can see a little bit better. All right, thank you guys for bearing with me. I was just kind of adjusting the camera. If you watched my last video, if you didn't, please do. It's my first one, and it's been really cool to kind of learn how to like film YouTube videos and get the camera propped up right and everything. And so the last time I did it, my head was like entirely cropped out because I'm so tall. So I was like, I gotta get the camera right, figure it out. So we're learning, and thanks for joining. I didn't redo it. I was like, you know what, we're just gonna be imperfect, and I hope you guys appreciate that, because that's something that I'm always working on. And yeah, I don't know, I just don't want to like come across like, you know, and everything needs to be in place in order to make a delicious, healthy meal for yourself. Okay, first sip of that tea too is so good. I hope you're enjoying your tea or whatever, you know, fun drink you wanted to make for yourself. It really adds to the experience. It kind of adds that, you know, warmth and taste while you're cooking, and I just love it. I think for me, it really feels like a kind of a mindfulness thing to kind of do while you're cooking. So, about garlic. Garlic is so good for you and has the potential to be even better for you if you prepare it right. So I'm gonna kind of give you guys the secret in on that. Garlic contains two things that we're gonna talk about today. One is allicin, like the name Allen, but it's spelled differently. I'll put that on the video. Allicin and allinase, okay? So allicin and allinase. The allinase basically is able to, allinase is an enzyme. It basically does something kind of like a hydroxylation. If you took biochemistry like me, you'll understand. But basically, it is this complex metabolic process to change allicin into allicin. Again, like another name. We go from allicin to allicin. Allinase is the one that converts allicin to allicin, okay? So this process is so important because allicin is so beneficial. You may have heard about kind of the antimicrobial, antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal, anti-inflammatory, like all these amazing properties of garlic, and a lot of this is thanks to allicin. So I'm gonna start cutting these. The way you are able to get allinase to make allicin into allicin is by cutting, actually, the garlic mechanically. So that's what we're gonna do right now, okay? A lot of times, like if you were to just take this clove of garlic and just put it right in the oven, first of all, heat and acid will deactivate allinase. So it's going to get rid of some of those health benefits that you can get from allinase. What you want to do, I'm gonna move these so you can see better, my cutting board. What you want to do is mechanically kind of cut the garlic, okay? We're gonna be blending this later for this recipe, but I just want to do this to really activate it, okay? And then also just kind of for demonstration about how you can do it. So we're just cutting up these cloves of garlic. That smell you're getting is all these beneficial compounds activating. So when you smell that smell, you only get that smell when you like mechanically kind of break up the garlic, all right? Peeling off the end. So I hope that makes sense. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna activate the allinase by cutting up these 2 cloves of garlic, and then we're gonna set them aside for about 10 minutes. Knowing me, it'll probably be longer because we'll be talking about, you know, the health benefits of the ingredients in this delicious hummus. But when you set it aside, you really allow that allinase to transform the allicin into allicin, okay? So we've really cut these up. If you're doing this with me right now, I'm sure you can smell it as well. It's got that strong, fresh garlic smell, okay? Let's move this to the side, these peels. And we're just gonna put this garlic in a bowl right here and just set it aside, okay? Really strong smell. It's that smell like if you eat fresh garlic, it's so much more potent than, you know, if you were to grill some garlic or if you were to put it, you know, in the oven or something like that. If you're going to cook with garlic, it's best to add garlic last to your recipe so that you don't cook it as much, because cooking will decrease the activity of the allicin, okay? So we're gonna set this aside. Wonderful. Basically, garlic can really kind of help to decrease bad bacteria, increase good bacteria, and it also has antifungal properties for some resources. So really interesting. The research continues to progress on this, but there really is some promising research about this just really benefiting our overall health. So who doesn't want to decrease bad bacteria, increase good bacteria? We know how important gut health is. Garlic is also really good for cardiovascular health. It can be used as a great adjunct to people with, cardiovascular concerns, or if you're like me and you just want to incorporate it into your diet for kind of preventative medicine and just to prevent chronic disease in the future and just to optimize your health. So a lot about garlic. I hope the biochemistry makes sense. We're gonna leave that set aside and we're gonna get our other ingredients ready, okay? I'm gonna wash my hands because I can feel the garlic on my fingers. And I know if I touch my face, which I do a lot, I'm trying to stop, but I feel like it'll burn. So let me just wash my face real fast, or my hands real fast, not gonna wash my face right now. Okay, so for the hummus, I will be including the ingredients in the list. And I also, imperfect. We're not going to edit it out. We're just unedited. I hope you feel like you have me in the kitchen with you, and this is just kind of a casual hang in the kitchen and cooking together. So for the hummus, what I'm also doing while I'm making these YouTube videos is I'm also going to be working on kind of a website, like a recipe blog kind of thing. And so I'll have this recipe on the blog. Also planning on putting, the ingredients that you'll need in the description below. So I hope that is helpful, just to make this as easy for you as possible and see how minimal ingredients there are, and there's nothing that you're not expecting in this recipe. Perks of cooking at your house. So we've got garbanzo beans, aka chickpeas. Big tip about this, I know organic can be more expensive. I don't buy everything organic, balling on a budget here, but one thing I do buy organic is canned beans, because it ensures that there's no BPA in the lining, which can is a common endocrine disruptor. So as a woman with a history of PMS, PMDD, a lot of things like that, I'm not taking any risks, and I like to get organic beans so that I can prevent having a BPA lining. Again, bombarding you with facts here, but that's kind of the point. Cooking well, being informative, I want to make it worth your time. While you're cooking, you can also, gain hopefully some healthy tips. We're also using kalamata olives for two reasons. We're including the olives, but we're also including kind of the juice, which is wonderful for kind of adding some liquid to the hummus, kind of to help blend it a little bit better. We're adding tahini as well. We'll discuss the health benefits of tahini. And then we also have our lovely extra virgin olive oil from Costco. We love it. My husband Matt got a Costco membership recently after we got married, and it's been wonderful. Really, really reaping the benefits. Oh, it's so good. I hope you guys are having a good day, honestly. This is a great way to be spending your time, cooking for yourself, cooking for loved ones. Just hoping I can share my joy and love for this, and sending you guys good vibes through the video. So we're going to start off with the garbanzo beans, aka chickpeas, okay? If you have a can like me, you're going to need to remove the lid. So go ahead and remove that lid with me, okay? I feel like this never goes smoothly for me, so I hope some of y'all can relate, at least starting it. Okay. Get these beans strained in the sink. I like to strain out the juice from the beans. Some water. Okay, great. Got our beans here. So you can use, to blend these ingredients together, you can use a food processor. You could use any blender you have. We just got a Vitamix from our wedding registry, and that's been a game changer. Honestly, for this, I feel like a food processor might work even better, but I feel like the Vitamix can do anything. You can use, literally, honestly, if you don't have a blender, like we didn't a couple months ago, you can literally use your hands for this. Like literally anything you want to do to blend this, you can do. So I'm gonna get the blender and I'm gonna bring it over here. So we have kind of, you can see a little bit better. I think I'm actually gonna move it, yeah, right here. I'm gonna move this guy over. Our lovely new addition to our home. This has been an absolute game changer. I absolutely love this thing. Okay, so we have our lovely Vitamix. We are going to first add the garbanzo beans. So my mom is a counselor, and she's a mental health counselor. She's my absolute hero, and she's also really passionate about kind of food and integrative medicine and kind of, you know, holistic health and all that. And she's always like, Hannah, like garbanzo beans are nature's Prozac. And I know she's like totally kidding because it's obviously not, but it really can. Garbanzo beans, aka chickpeas, I'm just gonna say one or the other, but they can really help to support your mood. They are loaded with tryptophan, which gets converted in your body to serotonin, the feel-good hormone. We have many feel-good hormones, but serotonin is a big one. Garbanzo beans are also loaded with vitamin B6, which is one of my favorite vitamins, especially for you females in your luteal phase. Sometimes I supplement with vitamin B6 if my diet isn't super great, like if I'm on the run, but usually I'll eat foods loaded with B6 during my luteal phase because that's when my mood's lower. And B6 can, get this, it can convert glutamate, which is an excitatory neurotransmitter, can cause anxiety. It converts that anxiety neurotransmitter to GABA, which is literally the calming neurotransmitter. It's so beautiful to me how that works out. So if you think about kind of when you're, you know, in your luteal phase, I tend to be more anxious. I'm actually in my luteal phase right now, but feeling good. I tend to be more anxious, lower energy, you know, just a little bit more like emotional, I think you can say, and that's totally normal because our hormones are fluctuating. But I think it's so cool to supplement with vitamin B6. It can help with a lot of the signs of PMS, a lot of the symptoms of PMS, especially kind of the emotional symptoms. And I think a lot of that is due to, you know, the conversion of glutamate to GABA, you know, kind of changing something anxiety provoking to something calming. So really, really wonderful to have chickpeas involved. We are then going to add 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, okay? I'm just kind of guesstimating here, but in the recipe, putting 2 tablespoons. You know, it's an art. Everything just, you know, the proportions that you want it, you know, this is something that doesn't have to be super exact. I'm just here to kind of give, you know, an overall kind of structure to it, I think. Okay. Then we're adding tahini. Tahini is basically ground sesame. I recently kind of have been adding this to my diet. Tahini is often in hummus. It's absolutely wonderful. Really good for your hair, skin, and nails. Also really good for your bones. It's loaded with phosphorus, magnesium, manganese, all things that are great for bone strength and overall health. Also has B6. So again, hummus for your mood, I think is gonna have to catch on. So let's make it a thing. Luteal phase hummus, or, you know, when you're anxious, let's have some hummus. We're doing 4 tablespoons of good old tahini. Tahini is so delicious. If you haven't tried it, please do. It's really good. Big fan. I actually really like to put tahini on top of like a baked sweet potato. Sounds weird, but try it and you won't regret it, honestly. So good. Okay. I lick the spoon every time. This is like my new favorite thing. Okay. Before we blend all these, I'm gonna preheat the oven to about like just the preset 350, because in preparation for the hummus, I'm going to get some naan, just kind of toast it in the oven, okay? So we're just gonna get that preheated. We're also gonna add some kalamata olives. again, Mediterranean. These are loaded with polyphenols and antioxidants and just good for you nutrients. Incorporating purple, the color purple. It's a rarer part of our diet. I feel like we eat a lot of reds and greens and yellows and stuff in terms of like fruits and vegetables. Getting some purple in is really good to kind of add that variety. It's got its own realm of antioxidants and nutrients. Really good for your brain. I'm adding about like 2 spoonfuls. I'm probably gonna end up adding probably 7 or 8 of these wonderful kalamata olives, and I'm also going to add a few tablespoons of the juice, okay? I chose one that doesn't have any oil because sometimes they can have inflammatory oils in them. This just has kalamata olives, water, vinegar, salt. Yeah, very simple. So add that juice to there. The nice thing about this too is we can always add more juice if we feel like we need to, okay? So we got all our ingredients. Garlic has been sitting around for a little bit. I'm gonna add it last. We're gonna blend this first, okay? I'm gonna stay out of the way so y'all can see it. I don't have a charger. We have a, what's it called? A plug here, but it won't reach, so I'm doing this. Okay, turning it on. Still not over that we have this thing. I freaking love these. And we're blending. I'm gonna blend for a little bit on low. Again, use whatever you have. I've used my fingers before. It's kind of nice to get your hands dirty in a society where I feel like we're really disconnected from nature and just feeling things with our hands. We're so kind of sterile and don't like to get super involved in that way. Use your hands, use a fork, use a food processor, whatever you have. It sounds like this needs to be mixed up a little bit. It looks so good, if you can see this. Literally, oh my gosh, it smells so good. I can smell the olives, it's got a beautiful color. I'm just gonna mix this a little bit, okay? Mix it up in here. It's very beautiful and thick and creamy. Let's give it a little taste test too. And so good. The olives are a huge plus. Okay, so we're gonna add some more. We're gonna add the garlic that's been sitting there, which is loaded. Now that it's been sitting around, it's loaded with, which name? Alan or Allison? Allison, nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. So this is gonna provide us a lot of those extra properties. I like to think about it as kind of activated, okay? Allison is a really actually unstable molecule, so it'll get converted to other sulfur containing compounds, which are incredibly beneficial. So get all the Allison you can, and your body will thank you. Kind of a low pro tip. I'm gonna add a little bit more of this juice, I think. I really like it. And then I'm also gonna add salt and pepper. I forgot about that. It's kind of one of those things that I think about this time. I'm like, you know what? I just taste tested it. Didn't add any salt and pepper. You can always use potassium salt. This is, sodium chloride, NaCl. But you can use actually potassium salt with a similar taste. Dr. Greger, the nutrition facts guy, talks about that in a recent video that I just watched. He is a great source for evidence-based nutrition, and it is wonderful. Potassium salt can be really good for people with high blood pressure and kind of keeping their blood pressure lower, because potassium can help to decrease blood pressure. So instead of sodium, you can use potassium. Another fun little fact you didn't ask for, but since you're here, I'm assuming you care a little bit about your nutrition. And I think it's just so fun to kind of nerd out in the kitchen. All the ways that, simple foods can really help your health. Food is medicine, y'all. Okay, we got that back on. Time to blend. So honestly, the mechanical process of blending this garlic now is also going to help to activate the allanase. So we're not cooking this. This garlic is going to be blended and raw, uncooked. So sure, there's, pretty sure, just on the fly here, I'm pretty sure vinegar is acidic, right? Yeah. I usually fact check everything that I talk about, but that just kind of came to my mind. So maybe the vinegar could deactivate it a little bit, which is probably good that we activated it before. But I really think this is one of those things, you could probably blend whole cloves of garlic and it'll be fine. It's more, I kind of did that as a demonstration, kind of to get the biochemistry behind it. And say you were to be making, marinara on the stove. You would want to do that with your garlic and then add the garlic that's been activated to allanase on at the last minute so that you're not heating it too much and decreasing all those benefits you're gonna get from the allanase. So this, for example, probably fine if you just blend it because you're not cooking it. If you're adding vinegar, again, it's unstable, so you might want to kind of activate it beforehand, all part of the process. So I hope that kind of makes sense. Go again. Keep that moving. It's looking really good, you guys. That is some good looking hummus. Very excited. I get so excited about this stuff. Anyone who's cooked with me or even heard one of my rants, I think about this stuff so much. It's honestly life-changing. I absolutely love it. And I just hope this is an easy way for, you to learn something that can literally help impact your life in some way, shape, or form for the better. Okay. So, I think we're good. We've got our beautiful hummus. I am going to start chopping veggies as a beautiful vessel to use for our hummus, okay? So if you want to join me, feel free. Let's put this in a beautiful bowl here. I don't want to put it in the bowl that the garlic was just in, just because it might be a little much. Let me see. Okay. Got this bowl here. So I bought some veggies at the store. This is a nice vessel for eating this hummus. I'm also going to use some naan because I just love naan. I can use, perfect. So let's get this hummus in this bowl. Just going to get some of it for now. I'm going to prep the rest. I want you guys to see this. I'm going to bring it up close to the camera once I get it in this bowl, but it's the most perfect texture. And I think you'll notice, like I did the first time making it, that you really don't taste the preservatives that you would otherwise kind of have tasted in the store with store-bought hummus. And it really is so hard to find hummus with olive oil in it, which is so surprising to me because it's a Mediterranean dish, right? But a lot of the times it'll have other oils in it. I'm putting that aside. We're gonna meal prep with that later. But I want you guys to see how gorgeous that is. I hope that focuses well. But you can see. Okay. We are going to, let me throw this away. I like to keep my space kind of clean. Oh, hello, mister. My cat's watching, what are you doing? So I'm gonna adjust the camera a bit just so you can kind of see the cutting board a little bit better for the vibes. I want you to be able to see the hummus up close, so I'm gonna do a little bit of an adjustment, but I went to the store today knowing I was gonna make hummus, and I got these guys, these beautiful, beautiful vegetables. Oh my gosh. So we've got rainbow carrots. Again, I love to get them to kind of get different colors in my diet, okay? We got these guys. We got radishes. I never buy radishes, and I challenge you guys, if you guys want a little challenge, go to the store and find something like fruit or veggie that you don't usually eat. We know that not the quantity, but not the quantity, but the variety. That's what I was going for. I was like quality, I guess, but no. So not the quantity of, like, say you're eating a ton of carrots. You'd rather actually have a smaller amount and a large variety of fruits and vegetables, which has been shown to improve the health and diversity of your gut microbiome. So I was like, I don't usually buy radishes, so I bought them today. We're gonna use them kind of to help scoop the hummus. I'm super excited. Look at this beautiful, beautiful color. I've never even cut them before, honestly, so I'm super excited. They're beautiful. Another color, of course, we got red bell pepper and cucumber. So all wonderful things. I challenge you to go to the store and, next time you're looking for your normal apples, bananas, whatever you usually eat, potatoes, try and add something new and just experiment it with it. You don't have to be perfect. Look up a quick recipe, just put some salt, pepper, olive oil on it, put it in the oven at 400 degrees, and just like do that to enhance your health, improve your gut microbiome. It's really, really good pro tip there. So let's just cut these veggies together. While we're doing that, I also got some naan. I'm gonna just put one of these in the oven. Just kind of toast it a little bit. I'm super excited about that. Wash our veggies. And again, I don't think I'm gonna speed this up. I want this to be something that's, kind of relaxing, mindful. Again, I would love to hear you guys' feedback in the comments if you like this style, honestly. But I don't know, I just think I'm definitely moving towards kind of favoring more real and authenticity than kind of things that are so, I feel like things have gotten so edited, and it just like creates these unrealistic expectations that, I too often set for myself, and it's exhausting, So we're cutting our beautiful bell pepper. So just whatever you have handy. If you've got, what else is good? Celery is wonderful. Carrots are always great. If you have baby carrots in your fridge, don't even need to cut them, If you've got toast, tortillas, heat it for a little bit, make it all crispy, it's delicious. So got these guys cut. It'd be great kind of scooping the hummus. I'm super excited. Set these aside here. I'm actually we'll get a plate. Beautiful little plate. We're eating the rainbow, guys. These red peppers are a wonderful source of vitamin C. So good for your immune system and overall health. All of these plants, of course, are a great source of fiber. The more fiber, the better. I don't remember the exact numbers, but the average American is not getting enough fiber. And fiber is actually, I didn't know this until recently, fiber is actually anti-inflammatory, which is kind of cool to think about. Like, we try to be so anti-inflammatory, like simply the process of eating fiber is going to decrease inflammation in your body, decrease your risk of things like colon cancer. Fiber also helps metabolize estrogen in the gut, so you're not recirculating that into your vasculature and reabsorbing it. That's the word I was looking for. Words are hard sometimes, We got these cucumbers going on. So fiber is absolutely so wonderful. Incorporating that into your diet as much as you can is wonderful. We're gonna wash these carrots and then cut a few of these and put them on a plate. I think we'll do one of each color. I think that's kind of fun, And then we'll save radishes for last, best for last. Probably. I'm just gonna cut up the tops. We're gonna do one orange carrot, one purple carrot, and one white carrot. So fun. Put the rest of these over here. Okay. So for these guys, I love these because you have like the baby carrots you'll get, they have that skin removed, which is why they look so nice and smooth. But skin is the plant's way of protecting it from the environment. So I don't know about you, but if the plant is using this to protect them, I want to eat this and protect myself. They're really the protective mechanisms of plants, unless they're poisonous, which, then we shouldn't be eating them in the first place. But they're so good for us, and it's kind of like a symbiotic relationship, and we work well with plants. We've been we've, you know, adapted with plates. Look how beautiful this is. I'm bringing this up close. The inside of this carrot, I hope this is right on the screen. The inside is literally, it's the most beautiful thing. Like, I'm just in awe of creation when I'm like, you know, in the kitchen working with food from the earth. It's just, gosh, God's creation is so beautiful, and we're, you know, we really thrive when we consume more live things from the earth, like we were meant to, you know. Getting rid of that ultra processed American diet. Every time you prepare a meal like this for yourself, you know, for your loved ones, you know, you are supporting their health. You're doing what, you know, your ancestors have done for years. You know, this is stuff that, you know, we've eaten forever, and our bodies have evolved with, and it's just natural, you know, getting back to our roots. It's wonderful. I'm gonna keep showing you guys the updates on the plate because I think it's really pretty. I love that so much. Absolutely love it. I hope you guys relate to like my passion I have for all this stuff. I know I'm probably on, you know, the more severe end of the spectrum of just passion for food as medicine. But gosh, being in medical school and just, you know, being a biochemistry major in college, that's when I really became passionate about this. I learned about kind of the biochemistry of food. And it's just, this really is the best way, in my and many other professionals' opinion, the best way to prevent disease in your life. Look at this little thing. I'm gonna eat it. The little root. I haven't had a radish in so long. And guys, I'm making this just for myself. Don't worry, I'm not like having guests and like eating this. You're like, who is this woman? I'm not eating her food. Oh, it's good. It kind of has like a peppery taste. It's bitter, which is good to have bitter things in your diet. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful too. This is so fun, you guys. I absolutely love this. Thank you so much for watching along and just joining me in this. This has been something that I've wanted to do for so long. And if I'm being completely honest, I think I was kind of worried about what people think. Like, who am I to be doing this? But you know what? Who am I not to? I really think this is a big reason I was put on this earth. I'm so passionate about this, and just lights my soul on fire. And I've been able to help so many family and friends kind of like improve their nutrition and their overall health. Definitely want to get kind of do a fellowship or a certification of sorts in integrative medicine along with my medical degree. And just really be able to just counsel people on, you know, healthy lifestyle measures as best as possible. There's also a board certification in family medicine for anyone who might be in medicine out there, called lifestyle medicine. And so you can get board certified in lifestyle medicine. I think that's a really cool thing. It's becoming really popular. So I think that this stuff is all too slowly, but starting to more rapidly incorporate itself into kind of more modern medicine. When I say modern, it's like we've been doing medicine a certain way for so long, and I think, you know, we're kind of seeing we're really good at a lot of things in medicine, but, you know, chronic diseases are increasing like crazy, and, you know, food is a really great way to prevent these. So look at this beautiful dish. I'm bringing it closer. This is so gorgeous. Really gorgeous toppings. I'm like gonna look at this to make sure you guys are getting a good view. Beautiful, beautiful toppings. Peep the Oura ring. Oh my gosh, so good. Okay. So let's get this plate here. Taking a drink of this tea. All right. Moving this knife aside. Beautiful plate of veggies. Okay. All of our scraps. Someday I really want to have, I live in an apartment right now, but I really want to have like a compost bin that I can put them in. That would be wonderful. I could probably use them to kind of help fertilize my plants, honestly. So we've got this wonderful dish. We've got our beautiful hummus. While I was at the store, speaking of plant variety, I actually bought some microgreens. Again, another nice way, a little more pricey. My hands are all wet, give me a sec. But a really nice way to, oh goodness, again, you know what? Not all gonna go smoothly, you guys. Wow, this is really hard. Got it. Oh my gosh, okay. I'm gonna put some microgreens. See, now hopefully if something like that happens to you, you don't feel alone. I'm just gonna put some microgreens on top of this hummus. Oh, it's gorgeous. I'm gonna show you guys this as well. Another great way to add some plant variety. Look how good that hummus looks. So beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. And all the different colors from all the different types of microgreens. So great. We're going for the, the aesthetic look right now. I'm no culinary school artist. My sister's a lot better at that kind of stuff. Culinary school, she is amazing at making things look absolutely beautiful, but I try my best. It's fun. Okay, I'm gonna get the naan out as well, just so that I kind of have that to snack on. And then I'm just gonna put all these together and just enjoy this dish. I want you to grab whatever you want as a vessel for your hummus. Take a little scoop with me. So many delicious flavors. Dang, this is one of my best ones, I think. You guys inspired me. This seriously turned out so good. I hope your guys' did too. The olives come through, the fresh garlic comes through. And I just want you to think while you're cooking this, while you're eating this, all the benefits it's doing for your body. You're decreasing inflammation. You're giving yourself so many plant phytonutrients and antioxidants and so many different vitamins. You're boosting your mood with that tryptophan from the chickpeas, the vitamin B6 from both the tahini as well as the chickpeas. You're not including any, preservatives or inflammatory oils like you might get in a more store-bought hummus. And you involved yourself in the process. And the process of cooking this meal is a mindful act. You're cooking this meal for yourself, for your loved ones. You know what goes into it. And hopefully you enjoy the process. You got your hands a little dirty. You just get to incorporate all these beautiful veggies along with it, drinking your tea, and just learning about the process of how this is so good for you as well. I hope some of these tips were useful. I hope you enjoyed this overall. I love this. I absolutely love this. I love food. I love making, really honestly affordable, healthy meals that are, I hope this is approachable. I really hope this is approachable and not intimidating. And I hope you learned something. So with that, I wanted to say thank you. I hope you have a great rest of the day. I hope you enjoy this dish. Super Bowl, this is a great Super Bowl side. I'm thinking about that because while I'm filming at Super Bowls tomorrow, this would be a great dish for the Super Bowl. Great dish, for hosting a party. Great dish to bring to the party. Great side dish for a meal. Great snack. Great thing if you have kids, just allow them to browse, get them involved in the different, plans they're getting at the store. Maybe they'll, want to try something new. Just enjoy. I hope you enjoy this. With that, I want to say food is medicine, so let's get cooking. Thank you so, so much for joining me.